Ooga fucking ooga cunts, and welcome back to the Cunt stream. Today, of course, we are going to be doing our Sunday show, CNN Cunt News Network. Tonight, we've got an interesting show with the lovely reading Ren.
Hello.
And the always insulting and beautiful Kadunt Vajath.
Sup, bitches?
So, we're going to be going around, reading some news articles, talking about various different things that have happened in today's society around the world, in America, wherever the damn news article is. We're going to go ahead and start with reading Ren. What do you got for us today?
I will start with one. It is from the Jezebel, but it's kind of an end to an era. Apparently, Claire's accessories, I'm sure most women know this brand, is going out of business, and it will be closing down a lot of its U.S. stores. So,
Claire's is that very cheap kind of store where you can get all the plastic jewelry and stuff?
It's also the place where you can get cheap ear piercings.
Oh yeah, that's
where
right.
a lot of girls got their first ear piercings. And all those really cheap in-trend jewelry items that you paid less than $5 for that fell apart within a week.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. You know, here's $5. I would like a product that's going to fall apart in maybe 5 minutes. Sounds like a good idea.
To be fair, when you're in high school and it's a trend, it's easier to justify to yourself spending $5 going, oh, look, I'm on trend. And the next week when it falls apart, it's out of fashion anyway. So, oh, look, I'm out $5. It did make you smarter than all the rich girls who spent like $20-$30 plus on the same items. But they're saying that is the death of malls and the multitude of online competitors that is driving the company to bankruptcy.
Well,
Okay.
You know, I've actually been in Claire's a few times, mainly because back when I was a young, strapping fat ass in high school and just out of high school, I was actually dating a woman who frequented at Claire's because she really liked to buy those cheap necklaces that they had there and sometimes the cheap bracelets.
Yeah,
And
aka you were shopping for yourself.
I was not shopping for myself at all. An ex of mine was obsessed with buying really cheap but pretty stuff.
Like the stuff I've seen you wear?
Hey, my Marvel t-shirts are not cheap. Sometimes they are, but not all the time. But, yeah, so anytime I actually had to go into fucking Claire's, I was always annoyed because it's like, why am I in this fucking girly store? So I always entertained myself in some way, shape, or form, which I think this last time I may have pissed somebody the hell off because I grabbed one of their very bright pink boas, put on some sparkly sunglasses that were shaped like a heart, and just walked around the store like I was some sort of art person, like some snooty ass art person. I was like, oh goodness, these clamshells are garbage. Where did you get them from? The trash can at Malibu? Pathetic, honey.
I think the last time I was in a Claire's, I'll give Claire's this. Its two markets really were teen girls who have very little money and all little girls under age 10. And I know this because my daughter caught sight of the pink and sparkly, and I might as well have been dragged at the speed of light into the store because it was like, pink and sparkly! Let's go. But yeah.
Good on you. Ever shopped at Claire's?
I've never personally shopped at Claire's. I have passed by Claire's, and I've honestly browsed through because I saw shiny things.
Oh man, you are like the living embodiment of a dragon. Is it shiny? I must have.
It wasn't. I must have. I just saw this little sparkle out of the corner of my eye, and I went to go and see what the sparkle was, and then my sister, who I was with at the time, was like, "What are you doing in Claire's?" I'm like, "Shiny," and I
Shiny.
pointed at the necklace with the fake little like rhinestone, whatever those things are, and it was pretty and shiny, and I liked it, and I was just like, "Look, it's shiny," and she's like, "Yeah, but it's also ugly and gaudy," and I'm like, "But it's still shiny."
Shiny always wins.
There
This
you go,
is-
folks. If you want to buy something nice for Cunt, just make sure it's shiny. She doesn't give a fuck if it's ugly. She doesn't give a fuck if it's pretty, as long as it's shiny.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying buy me something ugly or pretty or buy me anything. But uh I don't turn down shiny gifts. It could be a shiny dildo as long as it sparkles. I'll never use it, but
Uh,
I will place it somewhere conspicuously in my house, away from Brockus and away from Zell, because I don't need them to dirty that thing up.
No, what you need to buy Brockus and Zell is they actually have vibrators that look like lightsabers. You can
Oh
buy
my
one.
God, yeah.
I
You can
want
buy
that.
one.
No, I want that.
You can
I
buy
don't
one
need to
for
buy
each
them
of them.
that. No. Fuck them. Me. I get the lightsabers fucking vibrator. Like, gimme.
The
Like,
force
I
is not
want
strong
it.
with this one, Cunt. You don't know that much about Star Wars. I am the Star Wars fanatic in this group of friends.
Yes, you know a lot. But that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy a fucking vibrator
Yeah.
lightsaber.
And it's from
That's-
the same site that sells Game of Thrones sword dildos.
Well,
Oh yeah, I saw those. I saw the Jon Snow one, and I was just like, you don't know, you know nothing.
I
Yeah.
definitely want to get a long claw and shove that thing up my ass. Just milk that prostate.
All I know is I saw that and I'm like, I don't know if I could use that and not laugh like the entire time. Like,
You don't need to use it on yourself. What you do is you use it, you're like on guard, and you threaten to fight people with it.
the best home defense ever because the burglars are confused. Are you gonna hurt me or
That actually is a very interesting concept. Do burglars break into a house that, you know, has a bunch of BDSM stuff, vibrators, dildos, crops, whips, floggers, leather belts, and all kinds of other crazy shit?
I actually
It's
know
all over the place.
there's a
Do
thing
they
that
think what?
there's lightsaber floggers, and you have no idea how moist I was when I saw those, and I need them so hard to beat people with my lightsaber. I need my floggers. I love floggers. Please, like, if you're gonna buy me something that's not shiny, make it a lightsaber flogger.
You heard it, folks.
Oh
Lightsaber
God,
flogger, and you
yes.
pretty much got it in with Cunt. But yeah, like, dude, break into BDSM houses and think to themselves, it doesn't matter if we steal anything. We can't threaten these people with any kind of violence that they're not going to enjoy. Like, we could probably stab them or even shoot them, and they'll just be like, "Yes, again, daddy."
do you think that actually is a tactic to scare off rapists because they're like, I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna scare this woman.
Please
Um,
let me threaten you with a good time. I promise.
It's an interesting
I'll
idea.
I'll be such a nice dom to you. You have no idea. Just let me beat you. Oh, you
For any
have no
artists out
idea.
there,
I'm soaking right now.
oh
Just
my God. Yeah.
Rockus, quick, get over to our house.
I would love to, but she has forbade me from ever going into that particular bat cave.
Oh.
No, Brockus. You can go ahead and
Turn
dive
that
deep
around.
into Zell's bat cave.
No, that is no bat cave. That is a goddamn shithole.
Yeah, no, that's literally what it is.
That is exactly why I said that.
Oh my God, you're so clever. Oh my God, did you hear that? Look, Brockus, you made a funny. Oh.
Yay!
Oh my God, you tried so hard.
Well, I do what I can.
No, let's go back to talking. Oh gods, vloggers. Oh look, even my dog's getting off.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not even here to disturb her, Rocket.
I don't.
Please don't
We
fuck
we
my
went
dog.
from talking about Claire's shutting down and going bankrupt to sex toys and moist cunt.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but you guys have me on this stream and you don't expect me to talk about sex in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's kind of
No.
expected.
That was not an expectation, nor is that even remotely a surprise. I'm just letting the audience know what they walked into.
Hi, audience. Welcome.
Yes, hello, audience.
Uh,
No, but that actually brings up another interesting question, though. Do you think Claire's wouldn't have gone bankrupt if they had actually decided to kind of broaden their products a little bit and maybe add a little bit of sex toy stuff in there? Not so
I-
much dildos and vibrators, but just
I don't
things to go along with it.
I don't think Claire's could have gotten away with it because Claire's did wind up being like it's definitely more for like young girls to go in
Yeah.
and pay $20 for a thing of chapstick because it has the Claire's logo on it. Like that's the problem with Claire's is their shit it's stupidly overpriced.
Yeah, it's why most of the time, whenever I went there in high school, do you remember the basket sales, Cadunt? Where they give you that basket and whatever you could fit in the basket was like $5. So
Wow.
it happened twice a year, and you always made sure like you got the purses and then you flattened them down and you flattened the most expensive stuff on the bottom because then it's like it's all $5 because Claire's the jewelry itself could be cheap, but like their accessories like the hats and the handbags and all that, they would massively overprice it for something that's going to fall apart within 6 months.
I just don't get that. That is quite possibly one of the dumbest thing a company could do, and I am no longer surprised that Claire's is actually going out of business.
Well, they had to do the sales because otherwise they were overstocked. The whole point of Claire's was they picked like smaller stores. So if they had too much stock, they had to do those quick flash sales
Who's
in order
dying?
to clear up the stock.
Brockus, what are you doing?
I am in my garage. I'm not actually doing anything except for talking to you guys.
Well, stop it.
Stop not doing anything?
I don't know. And I have no idea what's going on. Like I just got home and I just joined in to more or less be a cunt to you, because I mean, what else am I supposed to do?
Well, this is the Cunt stream, and this is Cunt News Network, so that does fit.
Yes.
So, Kadun, you got any stories for us?
I could find one. You tell your story, and I'll find a story for you.
Okay, I actually do have a story. I was talking to Schmeckel about this briefly before we actually went live. It was a very interesting story. When I was looking for something to talk about, I was just looking up funny news, and it came across something that had me cracking up. Immediately had my attention because of the headline, and I will read it right now. 1,000-year-old German church's Hitler bell will remain in place. Let that sink in for a second.
What?
1,000-year-old German church's Hitler bell will remain in place.
Yeah, no, I remembered seeing something about that, but please go on.
An infamous bell dedicated to Adolf Hitler could ring again after the town council in a small German village voted to not dismantle it. The local council in Herxheim? Herheim? Herheim.
Where's
Herheim.
Lo-Fi when we need her?
I was just thinking that. God damn.
I love you, Smaj.
A town of about 700 people north of Heidelberg in southwest Germany voted 10-3, and there were at least 3 people there that did not want this thing to actually stay where it is. Monday night to reject requests to remove the massive 83-year-old bronze bell at Kirch St. Jacobus. God damn it, it's fucking German names. or the Church of St. Jacob. Why? Okay, Church of St. Jacob, the religion newspaper, I'm not going to say his fucking name, it's German as hell, reported. So basically, there's this bell that's in German on the top part of it, with Adolf Hitler in English, of course, and the German Nazi swastika. This bell is going to stay where it is.
You know, for historical context, I think maybe it should just stay where it is. We just won't draw attention to it.
No, yeah, that's it's fine because, you know, there's historical purposes behind this. There's actual history with this. Adolf Hitler, as most people do know, was actually a Christian in his day. And so it only made sense that to celebrate Hitler and the national religion of Christianity, that a church somewhere in Germany would actually have a customized church bell for Adolf Hitler. And of course, the swastika is the very symbol that he used to rally behind and create a banner of and everything. So this only made sense, which I find hilarious because the Germans in this town put a vote to get rid of it. But 10 out of 3 said, no, let it stay there. These are the same people, the Germans, who do everything they can to cause the world to forget about World War II. Kind of also World War I, but they're less embarrassed about that one.
Well, don't you know, during the years of World War II, everyone went on vacation. Nothing happened. It was just vacation time.
Punch for surf, check with Poland.
Yeah. But they went on vacation to other countries. That was all that happened, right?
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. But no, like, so the country of Germany knows it has a church that has a Nazi bell on it. A literal Nazi bell. A literal Hitler bell. Like, come on. And they said, no, let it stay where it is.
Is it like Nazi, like ding ding, Sieg Heil, ding ding?
I would not be surprised if when you rang the bell, it actually went Sieg Heil.
Well, to be fair, how many churches do you think have those bells across the country? And Joshua, actually, Hitler was a Christian. There was a culty group amongst the German, amongst the Nazis, but that was a very small culty group. That was not Hitler. That was another guy.
There is, however, rumored that Adolf Hitler did actually dabble in occult stuff, but that is still within the confines of Christianity, so long as it has been approved by the church itself.
Yeah.
No joke. People of the church are actually allowed with a specific license or permission, essentially, to actually study the occult, which is anything non-Christian, essentially.
Yeah.
And basically learn more about how the enemy might think and stuff. And because Adolf Hitler was a very big, figurehead, political figurehead, he would definitely get permission at that time from a church, the church, whatever church. Anyways,
church.
Yeah.
I just found it hilarious, though, because here I am reading this article basically saying that the people are not going to take down this literal Nazi icon, a literal Hitler bell. But here we are in America, and not but a few months back, we were constantly talking about, well, I wouldn't say constantly, but we were talking for months about the desecration of Confederate statues in the South.
Yeah, which is a bit harder. Yes, the Confederacy might have some bad ideas to it. Just a few. But at the same point, why remove the statues now? Why not just leave them up and explain the whole history? Because that makes more sense.
There is a good chance that a lot of those statues and a lot of those Confederate symbols and icons and stuff like that were actually requested to by various citizens and petitioned for the removal of them. However, the cities deemed to ignore that or say, nah, I don't care if 10,000 people signed this petition. We're still not getting rid of this statue of Robert E. Lee and such. And of course, politicians do change hands every once in a while, or they can change hands through voting and so on and so forth. So within the last couple of years, with the political climate going the way it was inevitable. It really was. And the part that actually does annoy the hell out of me is even one of my super liberal friends actually agrees with me that maybe destroying the statues and actually making a huge deal out of it was probably not the best idea. But instead, it would have been better to just, petition and make a big deal out of it, kind of like what they did, to have it removed and put into a fucking museum. Stop ignoring the past, preserve it in a museum so we can look back and say, wow, we were fucked up at one point.
Yeah, part of the reason why we need to preserve history is so that we can learn from it. I mean, bad, good, whatever. I mean, it serves a purpose. That's why they're there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's the same reason why I'm so bothered when I saw what was it, like Antifa or whoever who was tearing down statues, like in America.
Yeah,
it's Antifa.
You mean the dumbasses who are kicking metal statues?
Oh, and also garbage cans. Don't forget garbage cans. They have a huge problem with garbage cans.
Oh yeah,
I understand. Cans. I can understand if you're like, no, this represents a bad part of America's history, but it still represents a part of America's history. And if people don't want to have to walk down the street and see it, then petition to have it moved to a museum. Don't be like, it needs to be destroyed, because it's basically you saying, no, I want to try and forget this part of history. Just move it. I get it. I get both sides. In all honesty, I do understand both sides. I think both are kind of stupid in certain aspects of the fight, because it's a dumb fucking fight.
Well, it is, because they forget there's no perfect person in history. There are people who have done great things in history, but parts of their story are, to steal a word I hate, quote unquote, problematic. There are certain people who have done very atrocious things. At the same time, they've done amazing things for our country. No one's perfect, and I think they forget that. I mean,
yeah, that is the unfortunate side effect that see, one of the reasons why I actually do like to talk about history is because history has always been one of my personal favorite subjects. Going through school and everything, nobody really finds their personal favorite subjects immediately. They like math, they like science when they're 6th grade, 5th grade, whatever the case is. But then maybe they step into the realm of chemistry and suddenly science isn't that appealing to them. Or maybe they actually go to an astrophysics class and suddenly math kind of bores them. Whatever the case is. Me, history has always fascinated me. It started with mythology. It turned into, I want to know more about European culture. I want to know more about where we came from. I mean, my ancestors, for fuck's sake, came from Europe. I'd like to know more about them. So it just kind of got more and more into history that way. And I really like history. And then I see today's youth, the ones who are younger than us, those who were born just at 1998 or just after 1998, and I look at them with such anger, because I'm just like, you are the generation that is making people forget about history, and it is fucking pathetic. And what makes me even more,
kids liked history.
Back about day, you used to shut your goddamn mouth because you were a chinky woman, and they both had to shut their mouths and learn their place.
Only in religious places.
That's not true. You're a chink. You're not allowed to talk in public.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, racist grandpa.
You know what the Bible was made out of?
My people.
The pages were made out of the flesh of the Chinese.
I remember you told us this, racist grandpa. You told us.
I'm gonna have to jump into racist grandpa every once in a while. Oh, fuck you! All the shit you give me. No, but the new generation, the current generation, the young millennials, they're pissing me off because they're actually causing people in the same age range as me and Samaj and fucking Kadan. I assume Ren is younger than us only because I don't know her age, so we're just gonna leave it at that.
Well,
I can tell you, or you can guess, dude.
I don't want to.
History has been rapidly politicized, especially World War II. World War II has been like the worst politicized thing. In fact, you can go out and to like a couple different bookstores and get like 3 different books on World War II, and each one will tell a different story. And so trying to find the truth about that is very hard to find, considering that people are going to be using it for a number of political goals. And that's why it's very unfortunate that people right now are trying to, like, the education system, like, it has been so fucking warped up because of this kind of mentality. It started, like, my grandmother used to be a teacher, and it started around her time. And when that happened, she just sort of got out of it because she couldn't stand the revisionist history. Because back then it was apparently much more obvious than what it is now. Because right now we've had a couple, I don't know, generations of people going through this, and it's not good. History is literally being forgotten right before our eyes, and where do we go from here? Well, and then how are we going to siphon through this? Because now we have so much misinformation and so much wrong info out there that we really need to find. We really need to invest time and money into actually making sure that the information is accurate and well researched, opposed to what we currently have now.
Oh yeah. Well, it's worse if you get into like the Christian schools. Have you ever read a Christian school history book?
I have.
Oh, do you love the part where they constantly go, everyone bad in the history was an atheist?
Yep.
Yeah.
That gave me a good ass chuckle. I don't even remember where I actually found the book. I was just like, "Ooh, this seems history." Got, I think, a few pages in, just skimmed through it from there. Couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, I thought it was fucking hilarious. But then again, I went to a Christian academy for most of my grade school years, and good.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I saw on the internet this one thing, a nice little quote from Albert Einstein. As my good friend Confucius would always tell me, history is like totes important.
Yes, that is totally a quote from him. Totally.
The internet said it. It must be true.
I actually like the thing that Buddha once said: "Women ain't nothing but bitches and hoes."
Right.
Oh my god.
So wise.
Or the famous line from Spock: "Do or do not. There is no try."
Oh, fuck you.
Wait, I
You
thought the line
just stepped up my goddamn fandom, and I'm gonna have to find you, Ben. And me and Samaj are gonna beat you down beat you down.
No,
You're
but
just lucky
wasn't
this
this
isn't Tuesday. Because if this was time for Han Solo, you'd be crucified right here and now.
But I thought the
We're gonna
quote from
draw
Spock
permanent
was,
dicks on your face.
This is,
I thought,
dude, this is what I do on Twitter all the time to mess with Igor. Mismatch quotes from Star Trek and Star Wars and Harry Potter, send out the GIF, and go, haha.
You're lucky you're still married.
You and Kadan are gonna get along well.
oh yes, because I could have sworn that the quote from Spock was, "Do or do not. You're a wizard, Sherlock."
So much of my nerd is just so mad right now.
Tee.
I'm so the flames of
Smash!
hell are pouring out of my fucking eyeballs.
Speaking, since we're on nerd stuff, it is in the news that Kristen Wiig has been chosen to be Cheetah in the upcoming Wonder Woman movie.
It still pisses me off.
I'm gonna wait to judge. I'm gonna wait to judge because what wasn't it? Who wasn't it, like Heath Ledger who was getting a lot of shit for being cast as Joker?
Oh, please. It wasn't even just Heath Ledger. It was Heath Ledger. It was Ben Affleck. It was Halle Berry, but that one was actually credible.
I don't remember Halle Berry being anybody in a comic book other than
That's what you should do, Kadun.
Storm.
Just forget her ever
No.
being in comic book movies. She doesn't exist.
Halle Berry wasn't even Storm. I don't know what that character was. She tries to say that her name is Aurora Monroe, but I don't know what that fucking was. That was some bitch pretending that she had some sort of British African accent halfway through the movie and then decided, fuck it, I'm not going to actually do that accent anymore.
Would you say African?
No.
African?
Nope.
Yeah, it's African. Got it. So basically South African accent because
No, she does not know the way.
Not know the way.
She's not the queen.
Not the queen.
You do not spit on her.
So, Maj, I want to know your goddamn opinions on this, the Kristen Wiig Cheetah thing, because you and I are both of the comic book mind.
We live in such a wonderful era when it comes to CGI and makeup in movies. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, and we'll wait and see, because a good performance can come out of this, and I don't think that she's a terrible actress, and I do think it is possible that it will be a good performance. But there again, that depends on does everything work.
Who is she?
Kristen Wiig is she was one of the 4 female Ghostbusters. She is the best friend in Bridesmaids.
Give me something that was worth my time that I remember.
Knocked Up. She was the chick who was disgusted by the main character when she was pregnant.
I think she said worth her time.
Thank
Knocked
you.
Up was funny.
That was a movie so bad I walked out halfway because even pregnant with some of the pregnant humor, I was going, this is stupid, I'm leaving.
Weren't you pregnant at the time?
I was pregnant at the time when Knocked Up first was in theaters. And
Right.
I left halfway through the movie, went, fuck this shit, I'm done.
Oh, that is just sad. When the pregnant woman who loves comedy and loves making fun of herself basically sees the movie and says, fuck you, and walks
Go
out.
somewhere else.
You guys are like, no help. I'm searching her up myself.
She's from Saturday Night Live. Look up Saturday Night Live, Kristen Wiig.
Is that, yeah, I totally watch Saturday Night Live.
Oh my god, you suck so much.
Your fucking dick sucks so much. You fucking faggot. God damn it.
I don't know how my dick can suck.
Oh, she looks familiar. What do I know her in? Oh,
Just
I know
me,
what I know
Buffett.
her in. The Martian. You know,
She wasn't
a
in
good
The
movie.
Martian.
Yeah, she was.
Who the fuck was she in The Martian?
She was the the one who was talking. She did the thing with the reporting and stuff like that. She's like, hey guys, you might not want to do that because blah blah blah.
Go ahead and look up The Martian on IMDb, and if you can actually show Kristen Wiig's goddamn face, then I will screenshot
All right, bitch. We're
or I
fucking
will
doing
have
this for
Schmeckle
you,
screen shared actually.
dumbass. Goddamn, fucking Baracus doesn't fucking know the movie The Martian well enough. Like, that is a fucking amazing movie. Yeah.
Let's see, other things Kristen Wiig was in. She was in Ghostbusters
What? The original Ghostbusters?
2016.
What? I don't know of the shitty Ghostbusters. I'm sorry. I drank that out of my memory.
Oh, that's smart. She was a voice actress in How to Train Your Dragon.
I'm okay with that.
She was in Despicable Me 2.
Oh, super chat
Oh, super chat. What, did we miss it?
right now.
All right.
$5.
I got a 1.5 cheesesteak sandwich from Jack in the Box, but I also got enough chips and cheese to make nachos. What should I make for dinner?
Oh yeah, baby.
I hate how that's my job now, but it's my job.
Well, Ren, you didn't exactly say who it was and how much it was. It was Mr. LM002 for $5. And Mr. LM, you should definitely make some goddamn nachos because nachos are awesome.
Nachos are good.
I like
Oh.
my brother introduced me to this. He would take like some nachos and take chives and put them on top of the cheese and melt that on there. Oh, it was
Oh
so
yeah,
good.
yeah. Chives do add. Yes. How does one train your dragon? Thraxi. It is a. I hate those movies only because my kid got obsessed with them. Though I can't. I can say How to Train Your Dragon's better than Frozen.
You
I
know,
love How to Train Your Dragon.
DreamWorks is talking about doing a hard reboot on all of its franchises, starting with Shrek.
Why?
I heard about that.
The rationale behind that is that they want to make Shrek a little bit more family friendly because they are looking into DreamWorks or whatever, looking into their own theme park, similar to Disneyland. So they want to do something like that. But Shrek, they said, isn't quite family friendly. It's family friendly just barely. So they want to make it more so.
It's family friendly
Come
adjacent.
on, that was the best part of Shrek. It was the one movie you could sit down with your parents and you could watch it, and there are jokes the parents got that went right over your head, and then funny fart jokes for the kids. And then years later, when you watched it again, you went, "Oh, that's why Mom was laughing."
I agree. I like it just the way it is. However, they're going to go with this because they think it's going to work, and it might. But think if Disney was doing Shrek. In fact, I rumor is they're hiring people who used to work at Disney.
No. Disney sanitizes everything to the point where it's too cutesy. And
Hollywood
you hate
just
it.
Well, they can go a little dark, but I mean, not with their cartoons, obviously. Speaking of which, have you guys? This isn't. I know we're not supposed to be talking nerd stuff. Save this for the other day. But out of curiosity, you guys have seen Big Hero 6, right?
Yes.
Have you seen the original comic?
No.
no.
So I'll break it down to you. So the original comic of Big Hero 6 is that Japan wanted to set up their own team like the Avengers. So they cast they got a bunch of people from there who are always Japanese guys and everything. Now, when Disney made their movie, Big Hero 6, they changed the ethnicity of pretty much everyone, with the exception of Hero, because everyone in the original were all Japanese.
Okay.
So that means we now have a Filipino, a black man. It's literally diversity. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So
And
they blackwashed, they whitewashed, they
just Asian wash. Yeah, they did all that. I mean, it was fucking. And no one raised a stand. Like I was curious about Big Hero 6, so I looked it up when they made the announcement about the animated movie. I'm like, hold on, this looks nothing like what they are presenting. But no one, raised up the issue. I'm like, hey, how come you're changing? They're supposed to be Japanese. Apparently, it's okay to change the ethnicity of the Asians.
Yeah, if you just do different types of Asians, it doesn't count as whitewashing. Except when you do that with a movie that involves a main character that was white in the manga to begin with, and then cast a white actress, and suddenly it's whitewashing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like to get up in the case of Ghost in the Shell when the main character is supposed to be Japanese and they cast a white woman.
I still think it's funny that the people who have the biggest problem with it are white.
Yeah.
Well,
They're the ones that I hear bitching about it. Bitching about it is the white people are the ones who bitch about whitewashing. And anyway, wait, hold on 1 second. Brockus, I want you to go ahead and look at the thing right now so you can see that I'm fucking right, because I'm petty and I needed to prove that I was right. Because
Okay, yeah, calm the
yourself,
fuck
how
down.
dare you.
I actually figured it out as soon as I threw out my challenge. I was actually thinking of Mars Attacks, not the Martian.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up. Calm down. Anyways, no, yes, that's Kristen Wiig, and unfortunately, I do not like. Look, everybody keeps saying the same thing. Yeah, the same shit was given to Ben Affleck with Batman. The same shit was given to Heath Ledger with the Joker. Here's the thing: I was down for Batfleck. Okay, and in Batman versus Superman, he actually gave me a decent performance. If anyone who is unfamiliar with Batman / Bruce Wayne, the performance that Ben Affleck gave us was pretty close to Batman / Bruce Wayne. Anything prior to that was very lackluster, wasn't quite it, something along those lines. I think to this day, the only one who has done it in the movies that was absolutely perfect, from the comic books and the cartoons and the TV shows and all that stuff, and I'm gonna murder all the dogs in this entire fucking neighborhood and just give them ticket done. I'm sick and tired of these goddamn dogs. They bark at the wind. It's just annoying. But
No, that makes me so happy. I need to practice cooking, and I'm so hungry right now.
Fair enough. Okay. But the one that actually knocked it out of the park for both Batman and Bruce Wayne to this day is still Michael Keaton. The more I look back at Batfleck, the more I realize Batfleck was very watered down compared to what I really wanted, because that may have been an amazing Batman performance in action, and it may have been an amazing Bruce Wayne performance at a party, but he still played stupid Batman, and everyone who likes Batman, even the haters of Batman, lost their shit over that. Like, what? How would you not figure this out?
Also, the infamous line for me is, "Why did you say that name?"
Yeah, that's, oh my god, that was so fucking ridiculous.
Your mom named Martha too.
back to what I was saying. The thing is that when it came to Batfleck, yeah, we got a decent performance that turned into a shit performance in the second movie. He actually, the second big movie that he performed in and all that stuff. And then we have Heath Ledger. And Heath Ledger did an amazing job as the Joker. Fantastic, phenomenal, holy shit. Everybody applauds. Yes, that's one of the favorite Jokers of all time. Great. Do you honestly think Kristen Wiig jumping into the same universe as Batfleck is going to be a good idea?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody keeps trying to say, well, look at what happened with Heath Ledger. Look, I'm not saying Kristen Wiig isn't a good fucking actress. I'm not saying she isn't funny. I'm not saying she doesn't have talent. I'm simply saying the people who are making these movies lost my trust a long time ago, and they are consistently giving me good people in shit roles. That's what I'm constantly getting.
Well, and not to mention the fact of, yes, there's giving the benefit of the doubt. Like Batfleck, I was a little on, but he warmed up. I mean, he did a decent Batman, even if can't blame the actor for the script being stupid. I've learned to accept it's not the actor's fault if the script is shit.
Hi, Opal.
No, true.
So, it's one of those things that you can't blame that. But then there's certain actors like Heath Ledger. I was never on the fence about, because Heath Ledger's done serious roles before that point. So you knew he could pull a very serious, and he could also do comedic. So it was like, okay, let's see where he goes with this, but he can do this. Mm-hmm. Kristen Wiig, 90% of the films I've seen her in are comedies.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. I think that's also going to be something she'll have to work around. I did want to say, though, I think that there's no real immediate need to get upset over this casting just yet. Mostly because if you look at if you break down like don't think of it as a Justice League movie, think of it more as an individual movie. As a Wonder Woman movie, I think there's a little bit more leeway to have a bit more fun with that, just because it's was it Greek demigod, whatever, in this particular universe. So that gives you a little bit more flexibility to be a little bit more lighthearted and all that. It's not like we're not putting Cheetah in a Batman movie. That wouldn't necessarily work unless it was like a crossover or whatever. If it's going to be a Batman movie, you want a certain tone, a certain look, and a certain appeal to it. And I think they know to keep. It's almost like different genres. And I think that you're okay to work in that field. Even if they did a big Justice League movie and she was in there, I think like Justice League is not a Batman movie. I don't think it should be dark.
I don't think it should be dark either, but here's the thing though with that. I don't want Kristen Wiig is one of those actors or actresses that I've looked at and like, yeah, she's okay. But her against Gal Gadot, or whoever they have playing Wonder Woman. Thank you.
Gal Gadot.
Get it?
I think that chick's I think she's gonna blow Kristen Wiig out of the water because she can actually act. And it's gonna be one of those things of you're gonna kind of have like kind of a almost lame duck performance from Kristen Wiig at best in my head. Now she could prove me wrong.
Now, here's the biggest, the only argument that I can completely agree with as to why people would be hesitant about Kristen Wiig playing this role is she's got to be active.
Yeah,
You have to have a woman who's incredibly like agile and active and like that's it's probably the only reason why I don't entirely hate Margot Robbie, because she did like 95% of those stunts in
Margot
those
Robbie.
heels.
Margot
And
Robbie.
I
Go ahead.
can appreciate that. I apologize. Like I can appreciate that effort. It was a shit script. It was a shit movie. It was shit. It was a horrendous representation of Harley Quinn, in my opinion. But she fucking worked that shit out, and she was very active, and she wanted to try and do these stunts, and that's what I would want to see from whatever actress is cast as Chitara.
Mhm.
My only rebuttal to that is Margot Robbie did a great job playing Harley as it is from the, I guess, more the New 52 comics for DC. And she did do a really good job of it. Again, yes, the script was shit. There needs to be more Harley Quinn and Joker stuff. To be honest, if they really wanted to do that right, they should have started with the Harley Quinn Joker movie and then moved on to Suicide Squad later. Because you're introducing A, a bunch of new characters no one's heard of, and B, the characters who everyone knows, you pretty much cut their screen time in half.
And plus, you cast and you wrote Joker horrendously. Like that was a terrible representation of Joker.
Yes, I'll give you that. That was a horrible Joker.
Ugh.
Margot Robbie did her best to polish a turd. And
Like,
you could tell she could play Harley Quinn if given the proper script.
Like there was one scene that I was waiting for. As soon as I saw the trailer, I was automatically turned off of even watching the movie.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, this is Suicide Squad though. So if they have this scene, like Joker's gonna make an appearance, and maybe they'll go into the background of how they think he's dead, and all of a sudden there goes Harley breaking in to go and steal his face, and then kidnapping Deadshot and fucking putting Joker's face on Deadshot to fucking have this breakdown of opening up and saying, I loved you. How the fuck you treated me like shit, and I'm fucking done with your bullshit. To, you know, Deadshot with Joker's face on because she'd gone even more insane over the
That's-
thought of Joker
that
being
in the
dead.
comics.
Loved that.
I love that
favorite.
sequence. And him bringing it up later when they were dating, like you put his face over my, like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But yeah, Margot Robbie didn't do a bad job. Again, it was shit script, and that was kind of where that came from.
I still can't get over the sneaker heels. I love
those heels. I want a pair of them so badly.
No. For casual wear, for like trying to seduce people and stuff, cool. Way to go. That's great. Not for combat. Even in the comic books, like most of the time, they don't go that stupid with it.
Harley Quinn in where they pulled that inspiration for Harley Quinn, short of the outfit, which they did modify for the movie, probably because a corset that's barely open and short shorts plus the heels would have been a bit much.
Okay, but making her dress up like some kind of a comic book hooker was just right.
Well, she's a version of the comic book hooker because she had still the short shorts and the heels, but she had a t-shirt.
The point I'm trying to make is that the comic books, up until her redesign when they decided to go with the red and blue instead of the classic red and black, was that she actually wore sexy outfits, but they were never over the top sexy. They were never like sexy to the point where you had to question the functionality of the actual outfit. That was one of my favorite things about Harley Quinn, is she was still slutty looking, but you didn't have to question her actual attire. Like, I didn't believe half the movie that she was actually running around and jumping in the air with those freaking heels on. I'm like, those things would break. Come on.
You'd be surprised you can run in heels.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that it didn't make sense to me.
Margot Robbie actually did the backflip in the elevator scene in those heels.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. Good for her then, I guess.
Again,
I don't
like
know. There was
it's one
just,
of those things that I respect her for.
there are just certain elements of that damn movie that really just, there's such little tidbit annoying things, but they pissed me off so much.
Like it's a seen kid's wet dream, that movie, because it's like one long annoying MTV music video with no real it's just
No real plots. There were a lot of plots they could have pulled from the comic book to make it work.
I think that what they set up here with the Suicide Squad, 'cause we are essentially talking about that one, is that it sort of felt like it didn't really feel like it worked.
No.
A lot of these characters have a lot of history behind them, and at least making a movie to go with it would have at least done well to at least satiate most of the fans. And instead, we're just going to put all of you all together all at once. But people have been wanting a Harley Quinn Joker movie or something along those lines for a very, very long time. And in the end, this is what we got, and it was barely enough. It was barely what could have done. And it was such a hodgepodge job of the editing and all that, which is why we ended up with like 2 character montages.
Either that or they realized that the Joker that they had was shit. And they're like, "Ooh, yeah,
Well,
let's just try and trim this out a little bit because he's an absolute piece of shit, and this is not Joker."
I'm more curious than anything else, just because I wanted to. Because from what I've heard, is that they actually filmed almost an entire movie with the Joker, and they only used barely 5% of what they filmed.
Yeah,
and
which
I'm
is
like,
if they've just done a Harley Quinn Joker movie first, I get it. Diablo and Killer Croc. Well, Killer Croc's pretty well known, but Diablo, Slipknot, and Captain Boomerang might not be very well known characters. So they are to an extent. But I could understand if the studio decided, hey, let's slip them into a Batman movie as a villain here and there to get people to know a little bit about the character, and then do the Suicide Squad movie once the film audience, who is admittedly very different than the comic book audience, could get to know these characters a little more, and maybe not have Slipknot be there just to die.
Well, okay. For anyone who isn't actually aware of this, whenever you're introducing an origin story or the first intro of the Suicide Squad kind of thing into whatever medium it is, how the story always goes is one of the members doesn't believe about the bomb in the neck that causes the explosion. So they run away, and boom, it's to basically show that. And because Slipknot, I actually need to correct myself here. Captain Boomerang is actually pretty well known. It's Slipknot and El Diablo that are not, because El Diablo is much like a character that went the ways of Slipknot. There were 2 villains who were just there to fill pages, to be a villain for different heroes, and they always just disappear after a long period of time. In fact, I think they've only got maybe a 5-year on-off run in comic book history until they were eventually brought back sometime in the 90s to actually be a little more menacing. But even then, they just fell the wayside of Kite Man and Condiment King.
Well, at least Diablo's kind of got a cool power. I'll give the chat this. Slipknot has the dumbest power, or dumbest thing. He can climb things. Yes, I know. It's stupid and outdated.
Captain Boomerang can throw a boomerang.
Captain Boomerang's still a thief, though, so he does have a bit more of a backstory.
Fair enough.
Diablo, he's interesting. I think he was better. I almost think he was better in the New 52s because they actually fleshed him out more in that run of Suicide Squad. They did flesh him out a whole lot more than he was before. So that was better. But yeah, that movie was just a mess. Should we move back to news stories?
Yes, actually, I was going to try to segue back into the news stories. Does anybody else have a news story?
I have one that's funny.
Okay, I was actually going to suggest that Ren go next if he had another one, so let's hear it.
Horse spooked on Florida dance floor throws off semi-naked rider.
What?
Okay. No. Go on.
In Miami, Florida, partiers who packed a Miami Beach nightclub Thursday night were keen to see an actual party animal, a snow white horse, complete with half-naked model as its rider.
Male or female?
Female.
Oh.
But and this is at the Moiki Lounge in South Beach. But what happened was the horse got spooked and threw off the half-naked rider because apparently horses don't like loud nightclubs.
No. I never would have guessed such a thing.
Horses can get spooked? Oh my god.
By loud noises?
Yeah.
Huh.
I kind of knew this was going to be a bad move right from the get go. Just hearing the title, my mom was keen on horses, so I lived around them a good chunk of my life. And I'll tell you this much: horses are very easily spooked.
That's why you never stand behind a horse.
Never stand behind a horse. Never.
There's no good way to stand behind a horse without getting kicked.
Well, you can. You just, you can't spook them. But then again, you can't control the environment around you. I mean, next thing you know, a horse will, like, if you're in a place with a couple different horses, and if one of the horses farts and it spooks one that you're standing right behind, you can't control that.
Nope.
On top of all that, you can try your best to guess how far their legs are going to go. You almost never can guess that. The horses' legs are fucking long. They might not look it. They might not look it, but yeah, they can stretch out.
Yep.
And apparently, this bar is also getting got flooded with bad Yelp reviews because of the outrage over the, and this is the article's pun, outrage over the horsing around. They had to throw a horse pun in there somewhere.
Sometimes they get mad at news articles when they do puns.
Yeah,
This is not one of those times.
but I'm just saying that whole thing, it definitely wasn't the right model for the club to present. Oh God, I'm so tired.
Yes.
I had such a long fucking day. I'm sorry.
You feeling a bit hoarse, are you?
Yeah.
You know, when I said I wanted to actually talk about big bucks on YouTube, this was not it.
Oh shit.
You just gotta get back on that saddle.
Yeah. Puns. I can think of some. I made one. I'm good enough. Fuck it. Boom. Pun quota met.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? We've all done some pretty dumb things while intoxicated.
You can't prove
What's
that.
that music?
Oh, that might be me. Hold on a second.
1,000.
Yep.
Have a literal second.
Don't actually fucking count. I'll be right back.
I was also holding on. You just can't see it onto what?
Your tits, I'm assuming.
Mm,
It's some
Of course.
I'm just
Of course I'm holding on to my tits. They're like right there. They're easy to grab. They're so soft and pillowy.
Yes, they are.
Ah.
I know firsthand.
But a bub.
God damn.
You made a pun and you didn't mean to.
No, I did. I meant to do it. I just hate myself for it.
And now Sad Brockus is sad because he can't ever touch these
All right.
tits ever again.
Okay, so go on. We've all done things that were our stupid when drunk.
We've all done stupid things when inebriated, intoxicated, in any way, shape, or form, not quite sober. But who the fuck thinks, it would be a great idea? Go to a nightclub or ride a horse into that sumbitch, half naked, and have a great old time. First of all, who the fuck didn't stop her at the damn door?
The people who hired her.
No. I can tell you exactly what happened. The bouncers took one look, and before they could stop her, because their brains just stopped for a second, like, is that a horse going into the bar?
And remember, she was half naked.
Yeah, so it's like, ooh, tits. Is that a horse? Oh, what? Shit, we should have stopped her.
Oh my god. Okay. Well.
Here,
Yeah,
you guys
I
want
can see that.
you guys want another topic?
Sure.
Controversial sex robot Harmony is getting a sister. The creator of porn star style high-tech sex toy has revealed, and she comes with changeable faces. Harmony's sister Solana, who comes with a new face and personality, was revealed last night at the Consumer's Electronics Show in Las Vegas.
Ooh. Okay. The changeable face thing's kind of weird.
I bet you MGTOWs are really loving the shit out of this, but at the same time, I'm just wondering why do we keep pushing the idea of fucking robots? I'm not exactly opposed to the idea, but it just kind of makes me sad to think that we've come to this point in our lives where we're just not going out and dating anymore because, politics caused women to become even more bitchy than they already naturally were, and men became bigger pussies than they already were probably headed to. And so now we've come to this era where it's just like, yeah, let's not fuck real people. Let's just fuck robots.
While on stage at Engadget's After Hours show, creator Matt McMullen explained the sex robot's lifelike face is designed to be versatile, with users able to change her mood and personality with a mobile app.
That's just creepy.
Yeah, like, I guess that means you can make her sad. If you're in a I want some sad fucking or I want some angry fucking, like, you can make her look like, oh, I'm so mad at you while I'm taking your dick. Or, oh, I'm weeping so much because your dick is just so beautiful. Or I don't know.
What guy wants a chick crying during sex?
Fucking weirdos.
Wait, don't answer that.
So.
Yeah. Zell likes it when Brockus is crying.
I hate you so much for that. I would just set it to permanent Higao and then just go from there. Fuck it. If I'm gonna fuck a robot, I want its expression to be that of pure pleasure.
You want it to be you want it to have the face of, oh yeah, you totally made me come.
Yeah, because apparently I can't do it to the real thing, can I?
Well, I wouldn't know that.
I was looking at Kadon when I said that.
What?
Pay attention, Daniel.
I'm sorry. What your Brockus was saying stuff, so I stopped listening.
Of course.
No, I just missed because I was reading the article. And she's really pretty.
Is the face that weird? Have they finally worked out that where the face isn't so that uncanny valley thing that so many of the other ones had, where you stare at it and it's like, this is just creepy.
One sec. We got a $5 super chat from Mr. LM002 once more. Have you guys seen baking bacon with Macon? I think that's what it's supposed to be saying. How much for y'all to watch it on a stream?
Yes. exact amount for us.
Schmeckel's gonna have to actually approve the official rate, but I'm gonna say $50
What, $50 for what?
for us to watch whatever the fuck he wants us to watch.
What are you talking? What the fuck is baking bacon with macon? Macon, right? That's what it is.
I don't know what that is. I'm very confused. I don't know what it is.
How much?
The most weirdest thing I've ever seen made with bacon was on that what's that show? The Epic Mealtime, and it was they were making like a Cthulhu mask, and they were making like bacon mesh and putting squid through it. It was weird, but at the same time, like it's bacon.
I mean, I think
Have you ever seen the bacon bra?
Yes, that's what I was just about to talk about.
Okay,
Speaking
Trippy
of
Poop just
bacon.
came up with the greatest idea ever. Zell, you should get a Brockus face made for the sex bot, but only order the face part, then leave it in the bathroom for when Brockus has to shit. I bet he'd scream. I'd shit my pants. I'll tell you that much
No,
because
he
I
wouldn't.
gotta go.
He would just start masturbating to himself.
I guess.
With
It's
the
apparently
song,
from
with
a
the song
skit.
"I'm Too Sexy" playing in the background.
No, Goodbye Horses.
Oh, Mad Metal Man filled us in. It's apparently a skit from a South Park DVD. Still $50, unless Schmeckel actually wants a higher price. Then it's Schmeckel's show. He actually sets the prices for everything.
Opal says, I like when men cry when I add more metal to their dick.
You need to stop, Opal. You've never been able to do that to anyone because no guy is going to let you shove any kind of metal in their dick hole.
I mean, unless you're Prince Albert Piercer.
Also, just for fuck's sake, Opal, just fuck a dude in the ass. If you need to dominate somebody in a certain way, like a guy, just fuck him in the ass with a dildo. There's dudes out there that actually like that.
Brockus would know. He does that with Zell all the time.
I don't
Without
need
the
dildo for
dildo.
that. I mean, there's none of that happening.
All right, you heard it here, folks. He admitted it. No need for dildo when it comes to the Zell and Brockus sex time.
Giggity?
All right.
Oh, yeah, you can go ahead and do that one. Oh, God. Any more on that sex robot? Kadunt.
She just knows.
Yeah, she's so pretty. She looks almost like a smaller-eyed version of a Bratz doll. Like you know how Bratz dolls have but it's done in at least a generally realistic fashion to where it's not super creepy because she at least looks like an adult.
Am I the only one who gets creeped out by like those Bratz dolls? Because it's like, this is a girl's doll.
Yeah, it's a girl's doll to teach them.
Why does it look like the slut who goes to nightclubs?
Because that's what girls have to aspire to be. Switching Harmony's face for another, he said, the face is actually modular, the same way that within the app, you can change the personality settings and create a separate profile and separate avatar. You're able to remove and attach a different face to the same robot very easily, and anyone can do that. With the face changed and a different colorway added, McMullen turned to an app and switched the personality, allowing Solana to take over where Harmony existed minutes earlier. Last year, Real Doll, best known for early lifelike silicone sex dolls, created the artificially intelligent robotic head dubbed Harmony. Using an app connected to the head, users are able to craft a unique personality by talking to the AI whose algorithm processes and remembers responses.
I don't know if I like the idea of artificial intelligence in a sex toy.
Weren't we just talking about like AIs and aliens and zombies and shit? Like,
Yeah.
We were talking about
the
that.
step right here. This is there we go. You guys are if you're not worried about AI, they're already programming AI to calculate and generate responses for sex. Who's to say what's next?
They're going to take over the world.
It's moments like this I wish we actually had Derek Blackman on the show so I could pick his brains at his real thoughts on fuckbots. Just because he's spoken about it a few times, I don't think he has actually said his full opinion on the matter. I think from what his Twitter shows us, he's highly anticipating a really good sex bot to fuck in the ass.
I want a horde of customized sex bots, like full body, like everything, and they have to be. And I customize exactly how they look, and then I'm going to strategically, quote unquote, hide them in my house, all over the place, and I have a giant meat freezer that I want to put one of my sex bots inside of, along with some raspberry jam, and ask somebody, "Can you go get me some steaks from the freezer?" And then let them call the cops.
That could happen.
I
We'll
want
see.
the bodies. I want the bodies all around. Just like, oh, I see a random foot. What is this? No, it's a body. And then the police can come over and investigate my my sex bot collection.
And one of them would look like Brockus, so that everyone thinks he's dead.
No, God, no, I wouldn't.
Come on.
Okay, fine. I'll make one look like Brockus that's
And that's
plunged
the
deep
one in the
inside of
freezer.
Zell.
And that's the one that's in the freezer with all the blood and the knife.
Both of them will be in the freezer because the only way I would get a Brockus sex doll is if it is super glued inside of Zell.
You know, my brain sometimes gets very confused, and it's hard to tell the difference between reality and fantasy. I don't think this is fantasy. I think this is reality. I think she really wants to mutilate two sex dolls after she has also forced them to fuck each other. And both of their heads are basically going to look like me and Zell, and it's just going to be really fucking awkward to come over and actually witness this whole thing.
Oh God, no. Here's what happened. She would do that, but then she'd send you in the freezer to go get the steak.
That would be the worst part. Yes, that's because Cunt loves to fucking torture me. If nothing else, one of her favorite pastimes is how far can I push Brockus today?
No escape from reality.
But Brockus, at least you know it cost her money. It would have cost her real money to fuck with you that much.
Yeah, you don't really know Cunt that well. She's not going to just simply waste money. Obviously, she's going to find some way for this to be more useful more than once.
Have you ever paid to go inside of a haunted house?
No.
Or a haunted maze? Or any of those, like, haunts or whatever? I would turn my house into that with my sex dolls.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
of course would be selling the Brockus plows Zell, and then Cunt comes in and murders them online at
BrockusPlazazell.com.
Yes, BrockusPlazazell.com
/hee
/teehee.
God damn. Oh, so who wants to talk about cheese?
Ooh, cheese?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We need to get Missing On in here. I'll get the cheese brie ready.
Yeah. 1 second though. Zell would like to say, Brockus, touch my pee-pee. Plow me, baby.
No. That's never gonna happen.
Oh, don't worry. He can fantasize by Friday when that thing comes out, and you hear his lovely moans of you, where he reenacts you plowing him.
Well, talking about cheese, Opal's making a grilled cheese. So
Opal is making what she thinks is a grilled cheese. I saw Opal in the fucking chat trying to tough talk people, and she's like, "I'm small, and that's why you don't think I'm much of a threat." I'm just like, Opal, shut the hell up. You're not a threat to anyone, not even your son.
Dude, okay, I'm just gonna say this though. Opal is tougher than you, Brockus.
Just imagine Opal with knitting needles.
I don't even have a dick, and I'm.
You know that can be done to women too, right?
No, I'm good, thanks. There's
saying.
one hole down there that I'm good with things and not knitting needles. Thank you. No urethra play for me.
Needing needles are a little bit extreme. Just get like what's called soundings. They're a couple $100. You get a whole set.
Let's not. Let's what's this about cheese? Let's talk
Cheese.
about cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah, cheese is a good idea. Like Zell was saying earlier, for some reason, cheese just reminds me of Brockus's garage.
Okay.
Ew.
Can we hear about cheese now? Brockus.
That was very gross.
What type of cheese you talking about? We talking like Gouda? We talking mozzarella? We talking feta?
No.
That's interesting.
Gouda's
You bring
so
that up.
good.
Should have done feta. Brighton Cheese Festival runs out of cheese.
Wait.
Oh yeah, no, I heard about this.
Cheese festival.
Yes.
Runs out of
Scotland, I think it was, right?
Yes. Ticket holders are demanding a refund after a Brighton Cheese Festival ran out of its main ingredient, literally cheese. The Big Cheese Festival, held on Saturday, fell at the final curdle. Oh my God, puns. With organizers blaming adverse weather conditions for the shortage. Ticket holders had been promised a plethora of the finest international cheesemakers and mongers, showcasing their amazing cheeses. But distribution caused by the cold snap across the UK meant they were left disappointed. Oh my God, more fucking puns. Be warned. Rachel Chadwick wrote on Twitter, adding that the organizers needed to tread. Oh my God!
Read the pun.
It's tread carefully, but it's actually the cheese version of Carafil.
Okay.
And should have done feta. God damn it! So many cheese puns.
I can't believe it.
I hate you so much. She reckoned there was more cheese in this tweet than there was at the festival. Natalie Howe posted, not entirely understanding what we've paid for, except to pay hugely expensive prices at maybe 10 stalls. Kia Poat tweeted, 22 euros for the hashtag Big Cheese Fest is a joke. I know the weather stopped some vendors from coming, but there's only 2 cheese-based food trucks and like 3 stalls. In addition to the cheese and God damn it, R&Brie, craft beers, liquor, and wine were also promised, but the alcohol appears to have missed the mark too, with Helen Chapman writing, "Where is the craft beer? Since when is Bud and Stella craft?" That's actually a very excellent point.
That's a good point. When is Budweiser is not craft beer?
I did not know that Europe had Budweiser over there. That is fucking weird. Stella Artois is actually, I believe it's originally an imported company, but yeah, I believe it is brewed over here. In a statement on Facebook, organizers said they were just as disappointed as yourselves that the event was disrupted by the adverse weather conditions. They take great pride in their work and run many successful events previously. It's not the first time that a cheese festival in Brighton has run out. People claim they faced 90-minute queues at another event last August. That doesn't seem, whatever, maybe the heat. Anyone that wishes to complain has until 3 p.m. on March 11th to do so. Complaints will be taken into account and actioned accordingly. But yeah.
Stella Artois is brewed in Belgium.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's still not craft beer.
So there was barley, any
I hate you.
craft beer?
I hate
Yes. And Brockus is getting pretty cheesed by this article.
oh my God. Okay, so for those who are unaware, I actually do not like puns. Sometimes I will partake in puns because I find them funny, but I end up hating myself immediately after.
They're very punishing to Brockus.
If anyone's curious as to why I hate puns. I used to actually love puns. I used to do puns a lot. It's because I actually lived with both Antoine and Gwen, and Gwen is a huge fan of puns.
Yes, she is.
And I shit you not, every single friend of ours that has met Gwen in person and hung out with, all of that, we all used to love puns. We all used to make puns on a regular basis. It was funny, you know, all that stuff. Gwen did it so much, so often, every fucking day, that she has turned Antoine into one of the biggest despisers of puns. And because of her, I ended up becoming one of a similar mind. I have since moved away from her and been okay with puns since then. But every once in a while, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I fucking hate it.
Chat brings up a good point. I guess you don't have a punny bone anymore, Brockus?
Fuck off. Oh, god damn it, Trippy Poop. Don't turn this into the punch stream. I hate you. No. Oh my god.
Yes, dear Igor in chat, I beat you up mostly for the dad jokes.
Dad jokes are fine. I like dad jokes.
No, dad jokes bad.
No. You know what? The next time I go on to your guys' show, I'm going to encourage Igor to hit me with all the dad jokes.
Punch stream.
You are a glutton for punishment.
Is he in the background laughing his ass off going, I am going to do exactly that.
He's in chat. I'm sure he'll comment in a second.
Dad puns for the win. See, that's the kind of pun I don't mind. Dad puns are stupid. They're ridiculous. They're dad jokes, and they're punny. And I don't know why, but I'm like, I kind of like them. I think it's because of how fucking much dads think they're funny, and it's not. So it's funny ironically. I think that's why I enjoy it.
Baxter brings up a good point.
Yep.
Good have done worse.
God damn it!
All right, bye, Mad Metal Man. Pisces.
Good night.
I suggest you be your girlfriend, Opal. I'm still not convinced they're not dating. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, Rosa, you're right. Thrax, that was such a cheesy joke.
I just like the sigh of hatred from you. It's just so funny. It's like your soul is slowly leaking out and going away and dying little by little.
I'm going to encourage all the dad jokes. All of them.
All right. I have one more article if we want to go over it.
Let's go ahead and go with that article.
Everyone remember Pharma Bro, Martin Shkreli?
Yes.
Apparently in court, it's the headline. Pharma Bro Martin Shkreli sentenced to 7 years after tearfully begging your honors mercy. The dude cried in court. Martin Shkreli was sentenced to 7 years in prison with credit for 6 months served. The sentence, which is less than half what the government asked for, but more than the 18 months requested by the defense, came after Shkreli sobbed and begged a federal court in New York for your honor's mercy. Shkreli apologized for his disgraceful judgment and dispensed with his prior criticisms of the court and his convictions. The only person to blame here is me. There is no government conspiracy to take down Martin Shkreli. I took down Martin Shkreli with my disgraceful and shameful actions.
Okay.
He broke down. But he referred to himself in the third person, which is actually annoying. I hate when people do that.
Do you know who fucking does that kind of shit? Psychopaths.
Oh, and for those who don't know, Martin Shkreli is the douchebag who took a, he first became infamous for doing a massive price hike on a life-saving HIV drug. I believe that drug went from like a few pennies a pill, essentially, to like well over a couple $100 for medication. And that was how he first got known. He's also the guy who bought the Wu-Tang Clan the Wu-Tang album, the one that there was only one of. So
yeah, he is a big piece of shit human being. He took a highly affordable, life-saving, or at least somewhat life-saving drug that actually was highly beneficial and used by many people who were unfortunately infected with that awful situation. And instead of being affordable, he made it to where only the 1%ers would be able to actually afford it. It caused a huge controversy, and it actually caused way more people to talk about how extremely corrupt the pharmaceutical or companies are overall. I mean, technically what he did was awful, but it did get people talking about a very important topic.
And it actually is very common in the pharmaceutical industry that a medication could cost less than a penny to make, but they'll charge you ridiculous amounts. The best part is, though, he must forfeit $7.4 million, and a federal judge ruled Monday, because Monday was a federal judge ruled, which could also force him to give up his one-of-a-kind Wu-Tang Clan album. I don't know why I added G at the end of that.
A part of me has this weird feeling that Jeff Holiday is rubbing his hands together, thinking, hopefully I could get that before anyone else.
No, I hope that the judge just releases it. I hope he either does the fuck you bitch and releases it across the internet, or he does it,
auction it on eBay and have all the profits, and whatever the profits are, it's split amongst also, for just, I can't, I'm about to rage out. Talking about this guy, but that's what I think they should do. Just more money for.
Oh shit! Actually, it would be a really good idea if RZA or Method Man actually bought the album the second it actually went out on sale, like again and everything, and then just released it into the internet to basically say, like, you've been deprived of this for far too long. Here you go, world.
Yeah. Well, and the worst part is, and this is the part that gets me fucking pissed about this whole thing. He claimed in court, despite his infamous antics, as he's now referring to them as, or not, it's now being referred to as, he is a good person who cannot always control awkward, inappropriate behaviors.
Fuck you, you're not a good person. You jacked the price up to astronomical levels, you fucking faggot.
Yeah, and the medication was called Daraprim. That was the AIDS medication he hiked up to a ridiculous sum of money.
I think some of the things to keep in mind with this is that the guy's he's a young millionaire, billionaire, whatever else. So I don't think he really knew what he was doing when he did that. I think it was like a last minute decision because maybe the board of directors or whatever say, hey, we need to make money, and he just said, this one, let's just raise them. It seems like any sane person would know that would look absolutely terrible, but he did it anyways. And so I'm just sort of thinking he just didn't think about it.
No, he thought about it. There's actually video of him in court. Well, I wouldn't say in court, but like he was smiling.
Yeah,
he was smiling the entire fucking time. He was actually under fire about all of this shit. He had no remorse. He didn't give a fuck. He did it intentionally.
Yeah, and Trippy Poop corrected us. It was 30. The Daraprim is the AIDS medication he took from $30 a pill to $700 a pill.
Still went from affordable to you got to sell your soul for this shit now.
Or insurance started looking at AIDS patients going,
you want
you're going to cost us money.
You know what pisses me off the most? The fact that he tries to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I have a mental hindrance or
I'm
disorder.
socially
I have a
awkward.
I'm socially awkward, and that's what's gonna make then that causes me to be a piece of shit that you guys are looking into too negatively. Like,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself, you fucking gross, sick, twisted.
He may be using the affluenza defense. It's like I've been so rich for so long, I don't know what it's like to be a normal person.
Oh god, that fucking affluenza defense.
I hate that defense. It's cringy to hear about, but at the same time, I get it, but you shouldn't, like, that's really not something that you can.
That's not defensible.
No, I don't think it is.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
it, but it's interesting to hear about. And
Do you guys want the blood boiling history of where that affluenza defense came from?
Please don't say Donald Trump. You're gonna start a fucking riot in the chat.
No. It was a rich kid who
Like
got
Richie
his
Rich.
got a second DUI, ran over and killed someone, including a pastor, and then in court claimed he was so rich he didn't know actions had consequences.
God damn.
Who's this kid?
And it fucking worked.
I remember hearing about this kid.
2020 did a special on it.
Oh my god.
There's that. I think the first time I heard about oddly enough was on the Young Turks, and then I looked more into it. Well, yeah, it's this. I remember that kid. It's weird. It's
It
just
worked.
Weird.
They gave him probation, and he went to fucking therapy for affluenza. Who knew running over people while drunk was a crime?
Here, let me help you figure this shit out, sweetheart. I'm gonna find you. How much money do you have? We'll say $1 million. Well, I'm gonna find you $900,000. Have
Oh,
fun.
yeah. Oh, Opal brings a good point. Yeah, too. That was the same kid that fled to Mexico with his mom.
Ugh.
Because he could leave the country, right?
Like, if anybody ever wonders why I hate human beings, here, boom, 2 prime examples. Like, beauteous examples. Like, ugh. Although I'm kind of a bitchy, bitter cunt who's salty about the world.
No, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty salty myself.
I can tell.
Yeah, well, you do add on some of that salt, so go fuck yourself.
Aww.
Uh,
That's just how Brockus says I love you.
I don't even know if that is or isn't anymore, actually. I do it so often. I don't know how to be nice. Hey, how you doing? Go fuck yourself. What? I didn't do it. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't.
Brockus, just embrace it. It's like with Schmeckel. If Schmeckel calls you out and calls you a cunt, that's how you know he likes you.
We're talking
But
about
Schmeckle's
Brock as
Canadian.
being a salty bitch.
Look, my name's Brockis. I like hamburgers.
Zell says hi.
Give me
Clearly.
hamburgers. I'm like that.
Oh no, Canutt, did you get a sex change?
Yeah, my name's Zell. Okay.
the only one that's ever done that convincingly was Lo-Fi. My God, she scares me.
Hi,
Zell,
my name's Zell, and I want to marry the Prince of Queens.
Hello, my name is Zell.
Hello. How are you?
Hello, how are you? Thank you. Sorry.
What about Andy Kaufman yet?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
God damn it. I don't know how to do things right now. That requires thinking, guys. Like,
In a lot of ways, I do think that Zell is actually Andy Kaufman incarnated.
or Zell is actually Andy Kaufman and he didn't really die.
That would make
Oh,
no sense.
Don't laugh. There are people who honestly believe that oh god, the whole theory about this. Alex Jones is secretly trans, but he's not just trans. He's also Bill Hicks, and Bill Hicks started off as female to male, and then Bill Hicks, quote unquote, died and became Alex Jones. And yes, that is a legitimate theory out there.
I want to do a comic book series about the conspiracy world that Alex Jones thinks we live in. It sounds very interesting with the extra dimensional beings, lizard people, like Hillary Clinton's a lizard person or something like that. I mean,
She
all
is.
of well, that and the necromancer, but like all the stuff that he has to say, I'm like, it's all batshit crazy, but sounds like such an interesting story. Maybe I can craft that into something.
It's the greatest science fiction story never told until now.
Exactly. By the way, should I send a link out to Opal? She seems to want in.
Maybe after the show. We don't have that much time left on it, and so we're just gonna kind of look for more stories to talk about, or talk about the stories we've already covered. Nazi Bell, literal Nazi Bell.
Oh,
wanna-
that's right, Trippy Poo. I forgot that was a theory. Some people think Katy Perry is actually John Benet Ramsey.
I believe it. Headcanon accepted.
You have too
I
many
love
headcanons.
conspiracy theories. I absolutely adore conspiracy theories. They're so fucking guess what, guys? The earth is fucking flat. Lizard people run it.
No. The Earth is actually an eyeball, but only the top part with a dome over top.
Yeah, it's not an actual ball. It's the corona, I think it is, and the iris. Just slice that off your eye and leave the lens, of course. And we're not hurtling through space like some of the other flat Earth theories. Oh my god, I can't. My brain hurts. But I love it. It's so fucking stupid. I fucking love it.
I want to know if the Illuminati are secretly having a war with the lizard people.
Yes, that's what yes. All right, Professor X, battle fucking Hillary. Battle the lizard person Hillary. Battle her, Professor.
my
I'm
God.
voting for you. Oh, wrong Illuminati?
No,
I don't think that's the Illuminati he was talking about.
I was thinking like the conspiracy theory Illuminati. If you're talking Marvel Comics, I believe Professor X is in there. I know Tony Stark, Mr. Fantastic, Namor.
Yes.
And I can't recall, is Dr. Doom in there or not?
No. It was Professor X, Tony Stark, Stephen Strange, Namor, Reed Richards, and Black Bolt.
Oh yeah, Black Bolt, right. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, the Illuminati in Marvel Comics. I would love if they could do that storyline. And if they get, if the box deal goes through, we could see it.
Well, the fact that we are actually going to, I wouldn't say the fact that, but since Marvel has essentially acquired, for the most part, two properties that they have been missing this entire time, we would be able to actually get Professor Xavier and Reed Richards into the MCU at some point. Mm-hmm. So it is a possibility for the future.
Nice.
People have also been speculating that we've seen the trailers for the Infinity War, and they're saying that one of the stones that they have will have the option to go through the multiverse, and through there we may get something, which they think that this acquisition has been in the works for a long time. That's why the Infinity War, it used to be part 1 and part 2. Now we're just getting part 1 and a mystery something or other. And who knows what that could be. It could be multidimensional something or other. What was it, that multiverse something or other of the worlds colliding? I want to say Battle Planet. I don't remember. Anyway, it could happen. Battle World?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think. Oh fuck.
Here's a fun thing from that's trending on Twitter yesterday.
Oh.
What would happen if your last text message was on your headstone?
Oh. Hold on. I can pull this up. Wait, text message, right? It has to be text.
Has to be text message, not DM, not anything else. Text message.
All right, hold on. Because DMs and shit get a little weird for me every once in a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do the last text message that I got, just because it's basically a reminder that I was charged a specific amount of money recently.
No, this one's perfect for me, but go ahead, go on, Brockus.
Mine was actually, the last text message I received was from my mom asking me, did that guy come back?
That's really scary.
That would be a very confusing one for like, why? My last text message was just the word perfect, so I'm perfectly fine with that one being on my tombstone.
Mine was ... Thank you, Katie.
That's very ominous. That's so ominous. What did Katie do?
I don't know.
I don't know why Opal's here. I'm
I don't
assuming either
trust
Samaj,
Katie.
Schmeckel, or
I don't trust
fucking-
Katie.
Opal, Katie doesn't like sounding. I don't trust you, madam.
Hey, it's safe if you know what you're doing.
By the way, hi, Opal. How are you?
I am good. I
Alright,
just
shut up.
made a
Thanks.
delicious.
I'm sorry. I have to. Every time you're on, you know I have to. I have to be a cunt to you. If I'm not a cunt, people might think I don't hate you.
That would also be.
I guess we wouldn't want that. How dare the world think that you actually like someone?
That would be. That's an option. You know, like.
No, I don't like anybody. Fuck all of you.
Like
Samaj,
me.
you're alright, I
I
guess.
thought you liked me.
I thought you liked
You're
me.
entertaining as fuck, but that doesn't mean I like you. I will still be a cunt to you maybe one of these days at some point. I don't know.
I know. I pushed it up.
Hey, Mr. Husband in the background. Stop bitching at her while she's on stream, okay?
Igor, hit her with the dad jokes.
Stop being in a loving relationship and supporting her.
How dare you be in a loving relationship?
How dare you care for
Yeah.
her quality?
How dare he be in? God, he's been married. Fuck,
A long
almost
time.
12 years.
Oh, Ren, you're triggering the single ladies. All right.
I know, it's so triggering. I've been in a 12-year-long, stable, happy relationship.
That's not
Yeah.
as long as
No.
I've been alive.
At least it's stable and happy, and for that I congratulate you. There's plenty of other people who are in long relationships that are sadder than me.
Honest,
Shut up, Opal.
woman, you could shut the fuck up. 8 years. 8 years. Come on, get on my level.
Yeah, no, I'm not sad about being single. I'm kind of enjoying the fact that I am single.
Opal, aren't you supposed to have a boyfriend?
Yeah, Opal.
Opal, you have a boyfriend.
Yeah,
It's
don't
not
you
like
have
you're
a boyfriend
single.
who's failing you? Don't you have a piece of shit of a boyfriend because he can't travel to go and give you some hot dicking?
Exactly. Mad Metal Man should really get on it and actually visit you.
Oh.
And beat you.
And let you sound him.
I mean, the beating might be kind of nice.
Oh,
Just
you turned it around and you made me regret my words. Damn it.
Brockus, it just means she has the ultimate defense against muggers. They go, we're going to beat you. She goes, oh, please do. And they just go, oh,
Okay.
oh, okay.
And then
okay.
she says it in her teeny tiny little voice, and then all of a sudden they're just like, "Fuck! Are we about to attack a child?" No, I'm 21. And Opal, if somebody's trying to assault you, don't say that you're 21, because then they will continue to assault you.
yeah,
This is
no,
all making me kind of laugh a little bit because I rewatched the Team 4-Star Broly movie recently.
Oh god.
And
Brawly.
it's just Broly, Brawly, they literally say both in the fucking show and movie. I'm not even kidding you. Like, it's just this whole conversation's reminding me of that race that was enslaved, that was basically like super submissive.
Yeah, I remember that. They willingly got their entire race abducted. Like, yes, please, master, and they just keep whipping them. It's like they keep enjoying it.
Let me take the whips. It's my turn. It's so fucked up.
We're going to enslave you.
Oh,
Okay.
Opal, can you read Trippy Poop's line?
Opal's like, oh, daddy, fuck me. And then the neighbors call the cops. I couldn't read that. I cannot finish reading this.
Oh.
I have a surprisingly high pain tolerance.
Well, how about this? For the next 15 minutes, you guys go ahead and super chat us some things for Opal to say. Very dirty or very funny things to say.
Oh, let me make sure my kid is
Opal,
Wait,
what-
who's straight cis male getting his fifis all over? Like what? Who's he fucking spurging out
I
again?
don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Poor guy goes to jail for months to find out he was raping a child.
Oh, fuck.
Opal, that would happen the second you had to produce 5 forms of ID. Just like, go, no, my boyfriend isn't raping a child. See, I'm an adult. I'm an adult. Damn it.
My ex had the cop, his own parents almost called the cops.
Oh,
my
what?
God.
It's so hard.
Opal.
Please don't say that.
Say
Yes.
it again.
Say it so hard again.
It's so hard.
God damn it.
You live in Texas, all right? There's got to be like a Funimation recording studio somewhere near you. You can just sort of start doing voice work for anime. There's plenty of characters for you to work on.
Oh God, you can do the little girl voice without even a try.
Actually, that is very accurate. One of Funimation's headquarters is in fact in Texas, and I think it is specifically in South Texas.
I could work for. Oh my God, I could do.
Oh, but we found you a job.
I have a job potential. Yeah, I also have another job that I was interested in. Designing for bad dragons.
Opal, you could actually do that job.
She wants to design Bad Dragon product, which is basically
Opal.
Oh, okay.
weird-looking sex toys.
Opal, you just need to get a job as a bad dragon toy tester. You could do that just very well.
She's too small for that.
I would need their extra small, and I want to be a designer.
I like the way you said that.
You can test out the products, and I could get a free sample. But I want to design. I want to make art, and then have my art made into a real tangible thing, and then I want people to enjoy my art.
Well,
That's why
start a comic series, a webcomic.
That's why I love it when people buy my t-shirts and wear them. They're like, "Oh shit, Opal, we like your t-shirts." Yeah.
Oh, Draxie, you bring up a good point. Someone who would be a mugger beating up Opal probably wouldn't have called the cops themselves. I robbed a kid.
Actually,
I'm sorry.
I shit you not. That's what Thrax is saying. Someone tries to beat Opal, ends up calling the police on themselves, and says, "I tried to rob a child. I am a bad man."
No, it's really creepy though. Some older men message me. They're like, "Hey, how old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 21," and then they leave. So that's also creepy.
Yeah.
It's actually disturbing, Opal.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, you're not 14? No, I'm actually an adult. Oh, goodbye."
You
Get their names. Find out where they live. Call the police on them.
Yes.
Good.
You could be like this superhero.
Oh no, Opal. Here's a job. You could be a police decoy.
Oh God.
You know, when they do this, the guy with the cookies and the lemonade.
Opal, no shit. The police actually do hire young-looking women who are obviously in their early to mid-20s and shit like that all the fucking time for the pure purposes of being an actual trap, but not the kind with a penis.
Yeah,
sometimes
the other kind of trap that leads to Chris Henson going, "Sit down. Would you like a cookie and some lemonade?"
Why don't you take a
for the
seat?
cops.
So, why don't you take a seat?
He doesn't do the show anymore, right? Because he got stabbed. I don't want to get stabbed.
Oh my God, Schmeckle, no.
Opal, the first person they pull out if the situation gets very dangerous is the young decoy. They obviously don't want to have to replace the decoy.
I'd rather work for Bad Dragon.
Schmeckle, I was inhaling smoke at that time, you sick fuck, and I started choking to death. God damn it. But yeah, seriously, I want to see some ones in the chat because I really want that comic to come out.
Fuck you, I'm not doing it.
Oh, come
Wait.
on!
There we go.
She can be the ultimate superhero. Jailbait.
Jailbait.
Oh, the bitching witch is on.
Man,
She's
and
in chat.
then when I put on makeup, I look like a teenager who's trying to get alcohol.
You know, here in Canada, we had this thing like when I was younger. We come home and there was like cartoons and stuff after school, and they had these hosts on the local channel for kids. The YTV is what it was called. One of the hosts on there was this girl called Sugar. That was her nickname. But she was also a voice actor, and she actually did the Canadian voice of Sailor Moon's daughter, Rini.
Rini, yes.
Yeah, Rini, the pink-haired girl. But she's a lot like Opal. I mean, she's like, but I think she was like 25 or whatever. But she's like Opal. She has that high-pitched voice, and everyone always asks her, "Is that really your voice?" And she had to explain for a long time. And then afterwards, she was doing like voice acting and whatnot. I think she's in her 30s right now. She still has that problem, but people are IDing her and all that. Like, she can't order alcohol because they're always saying, like, they're always hanging up on her thinking that she's a kid.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very hard. I could only pay my bills when I had a cold.
Yeah. If you're doing it over the phone, I guess. But yeah, no, she has to get her husband to do everything for her, at least when it comes to like being over the phone or calling people like an ambulance if you absolutely need to, which is apparently the worst part. Like they think you're prank calling them if you're calling 911. So you're thinking you're a kid.
Oh yeah. I was on the phone with Target the other day because they fucked up my order, and I was just trying to make the most like deep voice I could make. It's like, no, sir.
Oh, wow. You
I-
almost sounded like an adult.
Yeah, I was very pissed off. I'm like, no, the stroller you sent me has 2 wheels. I understand the stroller I ordered has 4 wheels. It's like, sir. I was very upset.
Opal, do that voice more often. It didn't sound creepy in the slightest.
It hurts my throat.
Get her when she has a cold.
It
When
hurts
she
my
has a cold, I think is when she should do all her bills over the phone, because that's when she sounds like the adult.
It
She
hurts my
reminds
throat.
me of that lesbian stand-up comedian who has a very high-pitched voice and everything, but she actually controlled her damn throat to be able to actually deepen her voice out and sound like a normal adult.
Well, to be fair, that can hurt some people's throats, so
It hurts my throat to go deep.
Yeah, excellent.
Honey, that's really common, though.
that is really common. When things go deep in your throat, it can hurt.
Oh, yes.
That's why throat fucking is a very.
I really should have a man more in the house though. My son's starting to mimic me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Christ
He
is
opened.
becoming more effeminate.
No, his voice. Because I'm trying to teach him how to talk more. He's like, "Banana." I'm like, oh no, we need to get a man around the house so you understand what a deep voice is.
Well, you can't teach that to a kid. It just comes during puberty.
It happens.
Yeah, his voice will start to drop once he hits puberty. So
I hope
don't
it's
stress
not
too
me.
much.
I hope it's not me. He also had an old Christmas bag and he put it on his shoulder and he got my Starbucks.
Oh boy.
Oh, welcome back, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
And then he got my lipstick and he was like trying to put my lipstick on.
Opal, that's totally normal.
It was so cute, but he needs some boy time.
No, they grow out of it. Trust me. I have a 3-year-old who follows me around, and every order I give his siblings, he mimics.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, but at the same point, it's like you're not the parent.
Oh yeah. I took him to the trampoline world, and he immediately ran to these little boys. Didn't even let me talk to the kids' parents. He just ran to these strangers' kids. He started wrestling these little boys. So I guess he needs some little boy time. I'm not good at wrestling. I just kind of lay there and let him hit me.
I feel like that's a common factor for you, Opal.
You're going
I feel like
to
that's a
teach him
common
that.
thing.
It's okay to be submissive to some guys, but not your son. All right, let's just. We're just gonna. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You're gonna have to.
He wants to fight and wrestle, and I pretend to be like the dragon or something.
Yeah.
Opal, just don't.
Yeah. Well, she needs to do something with the kid. Boys have excess energy, and that's why he's as. Yeah.
He can't really run around, so wrestling is all he can really do. Where he sits quietly and looks at his picture book.
You should get him one of those the toys that the kids can punch and they come back up, and then they punch and it goes back up.
Oh yeah, that would actually be really helpful because I'm really tired of getting bruises. I have little baby fist-sized bruises on my wrist.
All right.
Oh boy, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. We get little punchy bags, or even those there are some places that I think Walmart sells those wrestling toys, like from WWE stuff. That might be a good thing to do.
Yeah, because he really wants to be rough and wrestle, but he can't really run around the house because, his legs. And I can't really get play dates because every time I try to call the parents, they don't believe me. When I try to set up play dates for my son, the parents don't believe me. They think I'm the kid trying to set up a play date with their kid.
All right. On that note, we should probably start wrapping it up.
Yeah, I mean that kind of just that I was already tired, and now hearing about Opal's kid and how she just lays there and lets him hit her.
Let's start wrapping it up.
Let's just not talk about Opal's weird fucking goddamn lifestyle.
No, only when we're playing, because little boys like to wrestle. Sometimes he likes to paint.
Okay,
All right, thank you all so much for
start wrapping
joining
up
us.
here. Go ahead, do your thing, Samaj and or done.
All right, I'm the latecomer, so I don't know if anyone was here or left when I got here, but
nope.
we have Brachus, Gedunt, Opalescence for the last little bit, Rinny Ren, King Cunt himself, Schmeckel, and of course myself. Thank you all for watching. And tomorrow is what is it tomorrow? It's Love Your Monday.
Tomorrow is going to be Love Your Monday with me and Zell, same time, same cunt network.
Take care.
Yes. Later.